DOOL spoilers for next week say that both EJ and Theo are going to hunt down Dr. Rolf, and they are absolutely furious about Lexie's death. So they are going to take all of their rage out on Dr. Rolf, the man who completely messed up the life-saving serum that was supposed to keep Lexie alive, because Lexie is gone again, and the fallout's going to be massive. Just complete devastation. A total nightmare for everyone involved, but especially for the Carver and DiMera families. And let us just start with EJ DiMera, because fans can expect him to track down Dr. Wilhelm Rolf and just blast him. EJ is going to rip into him with everything he has, because EJ is grieving the loss of his sister Lexie Carver, and he is going to take all of his deep dark pain and his explosive anger out on Rolf over this failed resurrection. EJ played God. He really thought he had it all figured out. He used that Versavix drug. He used the serum. He brought his sister back from the dead. And for a minute there, it looked like a total miracle, but it was a fake miracle. The lab rats died, and then Lexie started getting headaches, and then she collapsed, and now she has faced a grim fate. She is dead, and EJ cannot handle the guilt, so he has to project it. He has to blame someone else, and Dr. Rolf is the perfect scapegoat. But think about it from EJ's perspective for a second. He has been spiraling out of control for months. He is wearing Stefano's ring. He is trying to be the ruthless patriarch of the DiMera family. He covered up the tainted Coracil pills that killed Sarah's patient. He planted drugs on Holly Jonas. He kidnapped Kristen. He has been doing horrible, monstrous things, all in the name of family. But bringing Lexie back was supposed to be his crowning achievement. It was supposed to prove that he was greater than Stefano, that he could conquer death itself. And now it has blown up in his face. Lexie is dead, and EJ is left with blood on his hands. So when he finds Rolf, it is not just going to be a stern talking to. EJ is going to explode. He is going to scream. He might even get violent, because EJ is a monster when he is backed into a corner, and right now he is trapped in a corner of his own making. But EJ is not the only one looking for blood. Theo Carver is also hunting down Dr. Rolf, and this is huge, because Theo is usually such a sweet, level-headed guy, but he is a DiMera too. He has that DiMera blood running through his veins, and he just lost his mother for the second time. Do you know how much trauma that is? Theo lost Lexie back in 2012 to a brain tumor. He was just a kid. He had to grow up without his mom, and then suddenly she is back. EJ brings her back. Theo gets the second chance with her. They bond. They talk. He even takes a job as co-CEO of DiMera Enterprises just to make her proud and build a better legacy. And then the serum fails, and she dies all over again. The emotional whiplash is just too much for one person to take. So Theo is furious. He is seeing red. He wants answers from Dr. Rolf. He wants to know why the science failed, why the serum was flawed, why Rolf gave them hope when there was no hope to give. And seeing Theo team up with EJ to go after Rolf is going to be intense. Two grieving DiMera men, united by rage. Rolf better hide, because there's nowhere in Salem safe for him right now. He messed with the wrong family. He promised a cure and delivered a death sentence, and now he has to pay the price. But before the rage takes over, there's the grief. And Monday's episode of Days of Our Lives is going to be a heavy one. So grab your tissues, because DOOL spoilers say that Abe Carver and Theo Carver are going to be grieving together in Monday's episode. Lexie has just faced a grim fate, She is really gone, and Abe and Theo are going to have to lean on each other to get through this incredibly difficult time. Just a father and a son broken by the same tragedy twice. Abe Carver has been through so much. Lexie was the absolute love of his life. When she died the first time, it broke him completely. He eventually moved on. He found love with Paulina Price. He built a new life, and then Lexie walked out of those DiMera tunnels and turned his whole world upside down. He was so conflicted. He loved Paulina, but Lexie was his wife, his first true love, and Paulina actually stepped aside. She moved out so Abe could be with Lexie. Abe was just starting to reconnect with her. They were trying to figure out their new normal, and then the symptoms started. The headaches, the weakness, and Abe had to watch her slip away all over again. It is just incredibly cruel. The writers really put Abe through the ringer this time, and watching James Reynolds act out this grief is going to be heartbreaking. He is a legend, and he is going to deliver a powerhouse performance on Monday, and Theo is going to be right there with him, crying, mourning, trying to make sense of a world where his mom is gone again. But Lexie knew this was coming. She knew the serum was failing. Dr. Rolf told her the truth about the lab rats. She knew her time was short, so she prepared, because Lexie is a planner. She is a mother, first and foremost, and she did not want to leave her boys without saying a proper goodbye. So spoilers reveal that there will be a letter from Lexie for Theo. She wrote it before she died. And in this letter, she is going to give him her final advice. The things she wants him to know. The things she wants him to remember. Theo is going to open this letter on Monday. And he is going to read her words. It is going to be a massive tearjerker. Lexie will probably tell him how proud she is of him, how much she loves him. She might even tell him to keep fighting for the DiMera legacy, to be the good in that family, to not let EJ's darkness take over. Because Lexie always wanted the best for Theo. She always wanted him to rise above the DiMera toxicity. And this final letter is going to be his guiding light moving forward. Even when he is hunting down Rolf in a blind rage, her words are going to be echoing in his head. But Theo is not the only one getting a letter. Abe is likely going to get a letter of his own from Lexie. And this is where the story gets really complicated and really beautiful. Because Lexie is selfless, she loves Abe, but she also knows that Abe has built a life with Paulina. She knows that Paulina loves him, and she knows that Paulina sacrificed her own happiness so Abe could have these final moments with Lexie. So in her letter to Abe, Lexie is going to include a reminder pointing him right back toward Paulina Price. Yes, Lexie is going to push Abe to go back to Paulina. She is going to give him her blessing. She is going to tell him not to wallow in grief, not to spend the rest of his life mourning her, but to go back to the woman who loves him in the present, to go back to his mayor, his fierce protector, his new wife, because Lexie wants Abe to be happy. She does not want to be a ghost haunting his future. She wants him to live. And this letter is going to completely wreck Abe. Reading those words, knowing that Lexie used her final moments to make sure he would not be alone, it is just classic Lexie Carver, always thinking of others, always trying to fix things, and you have to wonder how Paulina is going to react to all of this. She has been watching from the sidelines. She has been a complete emotional wreck. She bullied Chanel into considering the Versavix drug for her cancer because she thought it was a miracle cure. And now the cure has failed. The cure killed Lexie. Paulina has to be terrified right now. But she also has to be grieving for Abe because she loves him. And seeing him in so much pain is going to break her heart. When Abe eventually tells Paulina about the letter, about Lexie's blessing, it is going to be a very complicated reunion for them. There will be guilt. There will be sadness. But there will also be a deep, profound love because they survived this crazy DiMera storm together. But back to the anger, because the grief is heavy, but the rage is what is going to drive the plot next. EJ and Theo are on the warpath. Doctor Rolf is the target, and Salem is about to become a hunting ground. EJ is going to use every resource he has to find Rolf. He will probably have his goons tearing the town apart. And Theo might even use his new corporate power at DiMera to track the mad scientists down. Rolf has survived a lot of things in his life. He has survived Stefano. He has survived explosions. But surviving a grieving EJ and a heartbroken Theo might be his biggest challenge yet. Because Rolf knew the risks. He warned EJ, but he also pushed the boundaries of science. He played with life and death. And now the bill has come due. EJ is not going to listen to excuses. He is not going to care about the scientific method. He just knows his sister is dead. And someone has to pay. And honestly, EJ needs someone to pay. Because if he stops and actually looks in the mirror, he will realize that he is the one to blame. EJ pushed for this. EJ kept the secrets. EJ played God, but EJ will never admit that. So Rolf is going to take the heat. It is going to be a messy, clunky, emotionally exhausting week on Days of Our Lives. The writers are really giving us everything. The highs of a resurrection and the brutal, crashing lows of a second death. The fans are going to be talking about this for months because losing Lexie twice is a bold move. It is controversial, but it is generating so much story. The fallout's going to touch everyone. From Chad, who is already suspicious of EJ, to Marlena, who had to keep the secret because of HIPAA. Everyone is going to be reeling from this. So buckle up, because Monday is going to bring the tears with Abe and Theo reading those devastating letters. And the rest of the week is going to bring the fire as EJ and Theo hunt down Dr. Rolf to make him pay for his failed science. It is raw, it is unfiltered, and it is pure soap opera gold. Keep watching, keep crying, and keep bracing for impact. Because Salem is never quiet for long. And this storm is just getting started.